like the way I stare at you and the feeling it made you.
We have 3 clips now.
Yes. Even outside the house.
You want to see crazy? No, you're saying you're...
Tochi wants to show us crazy. See, this reunion has just been funny so far. Like, let me just say what I feel about like the whole thing. If you set yourself up for dragging, you go collect. Most of the situations I've seen so far, like from the beginning, what even made me realize that this whole idea of if you don't drag the person will not drag you, and then everybody is fine, it's a win-win, was because of what happened between Nengi and Kiddwaya, and like the whole Nengi Kiddwaya situation. Like Nengi hasn't dragged any guy so far. Like from the beginning, she has not really tried to like say, okay, I no longer want you, or this is try to talk down on the guy because of for any reason. So today, let me just say that what she has been doing so far worked for her today very, very, very well. Because they brought up the Nengi Kiddwaya situation, right? And you know, the way everything played out, I was actually really impressed. Let me just put it that way. I was actually really impressed. Then for the other babes, for the other people so far, there's this thing that they've been trying to push. I understand that you're trying to own up to your shit, but in the process of trying to own up to your shit, don't now use that to now down talk the other person. That's what some of the girls have been doing so far. Like Watoni, even Dorothy, even though at some point she owned up to her shit, initially she was trying not to like be all that. She owned up to what she did, and then when Brighto started talking, then it was now as if she also now wanted to downplay the situation or down talk Brighto. Then also there's another person, Katrina too. Kaisha did the same thing today. Like so far, the people that have received backlash in terms of what they did in the house were people that brought it upon themselves. Let me just put it that way. Like, if you set yourself up, that's the watchword for now. If you set yourself up for dragging, you go collect. Like, it's very, very easy to just say, I like this person, but I've moved on from that. But don't say it like, oh, who are you? Like, I can't even have anything to do with you. Obviously, the person is going to say their own things to, like, counter what you have said. So that is the situation on ground right now, and that is what is, like, backfiring on the ladies that have said things so far. So yeah, I've done my own personal rant. It's time for me to tell you guys what happened in tonight's reunion in details. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, turn on your post notifications so they can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and drop your comments. Let me know what you think about like the reunion so far, what the ladies have been doing, what the guys have been doing, So today's reunion started with Ebuka asking Tochi about like the Kiddwaya and Watoni situation. And then Tochi said to him he felt like Watoni liked Kiddwaya, based on the Truth or Dare, because they showed the Truth or Dare games. And you guys remember that Watoni kissed Kiddwaya during the their first Truth or Dare games. And yeah, that's what they were talking about. So Tochi said that to him he felt like Watoni liked Kiddwaya. And then Watoni now was saying that, okay, for her, it was just, she still maintains that it was cruise. You know, the whole thing that she had with the guys was just cruise. It was just her having fun. That she could have picked any other person. She could have picked Prince. She could have picked any other person. And then in the process of saying all that, she said that, okay, the reason she was even like trying to do stuff with Kiddwaya is like, she called Kiddwaya a community boy.
And then again, Kid was a community boy.
And I think that's the statement that set her up. She said she called him a community boy and everything. So when they now asked Kiddwaya was like, yeah, he agrees that he was flirting around with the babes. That's just how he is. He's flirtatious. He's, you know, that's just how he is. That's the kind of person he is. He likes to flirt with babes and stuff. That's how he was in the house, and that's how he still is. That's what he was saying. So, you know, he just said his own things. After he was saying that one, Watoni was still going on and was talking about how she would have gone for either of them. Then Tochi now talked. Tochi was now talking to her that, but you said that you didn't like Prince and you wouldn't have anything to do with Prince, and now you're now using Prince as against what do they call him, Kiddwaya, because she was now saying that if like she would have chosen Prince, because you know in the Truth or Dare game she asked Nengi who would she pick for her to kiss, and then Nengi chose between Prince and Kiddwaya. Nengi chose Kiddwaya. So Watoni was now saying that she liked Prince more. Then Tochi was now telling her, but you already said the other day that you don't like Prince, but now you're now using Prince in this situation because you're now comparing it to Kiddwaya. And she was like, that everything was still cruise, that she didn't like him. It was not that deep. Now, when he was making his statements, they were now having their back and forth. That was the point where Tochi now said, "You want to see crazy?" I'm like, hey.
There was nobody trying to ask you out of the house. You told Prince here that you told Prince, I don't want you, and now you are coming. Is that Prince or this one you like? So
There's nothing somebody will not see in this reunion. He now told her that you wanted all the guys in the house, like you were after all the guys in the house, and but you didn't like get what you wanted. That you were also a community girl. Hi, that one pained her. You used the same statement for somebody there, which is Kiddwaya, and now he's using it. Funny enough, it's not even now Kiddwaya that now dragged her. It was Tochi that dragged her. You use the statement on this guy, like community. He's a community boy, and to you it was okay. And then now Tochi now use it on her. I think that's when she now said that this thing, it don't make sense, because it didn't make sense. These things that some ladies do, like if you talk down on if you don't like being talked down on, don't do it to another person. Don't try to what's the community boy statement? Did not make sense, because if it was Kiddwaya that called her a community girl, obviously all hell will break loose, and then it will be like, oh, you're like, being disrespectful and stuff. But Kiddwaya was like, however she feels is her opinion. Then Watoni now, I think Watoni made mention of the fact that Tochi in the house said that Tochi said that she's an easy catch. So Tochi made a statement about her being an easy catch in the house. That's what was pissing her off too. That's another thing that was pissing Watoni off. So they were just having their own face off. Man, it's just very, very funny, sha. But Tochi was like, I didn't want to. And she was like trying to show that, okay, she's not an easy catch, that for you to get her, you have to sweat. Everything was just very funny and it was very shaky. But the truth of the matter is that we understand that every girl wants to come across like, all cheeky, you're not cheap and stuff. But based on what happened in the house, it's okay to admit that you were lonely, you wanted somebody. Don't now come and say that to get you had to sweat. She was literally the one that was trying to make moves on most of the guys. So don't now come and play it as if you were, I don't know, but just own up to, if you want to own up to everything you get, because you set yourself up for dragging. Then they now ask Katrina. No, I can't remember. They asked Katrina about the situation, and I don't even know how she was talking about the Watoni and Kiddwaya situation, and then the thing entered Nengi's gist. And I'm like, how did Nengi come into this equation? You're talking about, I think they asked about Kiddwaya and Watoni, and you're talking about Kiddwaya and Watoni, and then the next thing you're saying, you don't understand why Nengi was being disrespectful and everything. In my mind, I'm like, we have not reached there. Calm down. We have not reached there. It's almost as if maybe they told her, yeah, say this. It's like they were using the people that needed to be used in this reunion. Like, okay, I know this person wants drama, so let's use her to say this, because people have been saying, it looks like everything is just scripted. It's probably scripted, but then they are not saying things that didn't happen. They are saying things that happened. So let's just calm down and have fun with it. So Katrina now brought up the Nengi and Kiddwaya situation. Then they now showed that famous video. They showed us the famous video of when Kiddwaya and Nengi left the party, went to the bathroom area. So before they showed where they went to the bathroom area, they showed where Kiddwaya and Nengi, they were dancing. They were having a very, very intimate dance. Let me just put it that way. Then after that, the next thing, they were by the bathroom. Now, the truth is that if we are really, 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 really going to interpret the whole situation, everything, the coincidence was just too much. Let me just put it that way. They had all their dance and everything in the party, and then after the party, during the party, it was still at the party. The party was still going on. That's even what made the coincidence more, how is it that both of them went to pee at the same time? So I think they were still at the party. At this point, where she was running to the bathroom, it now showed that her clothes was down. I think she wore a jumpsuit, so her jumpsuit was down, so it was just her bra and then her this thing. After running into the bathroom, she now came out again with the clothes up, Kiddwaya should zip. She didn't even last for up to how many, I don't know. She didn't last for how many seconds. She came back, for him to zip. So Kiddwaya just left the situation, Sha. Then Ozo now came and now helped her. He was like, what's going on? Like Ozo was trying to like ask her what's going on here, what's happening. And she was like, she just came to pee. You know how Nengi used to know? She was like, she just came to pee. You know, nothing, this and that. Ozo was like, you know, the situation put him in shock. Like, what's happening here? So, and that was the day that I also had a conversation with Neo about Nengi, and not that's the time he just looked at it like, it's like this girl is trying to play me, because he made a lot of comments about like he feels like they are trying to have something or something happened in the bathroom and all of that. For me, after they showed that thing, after they showed the video, it's as if these people prepared for everything. So after they showed the video, Katrina was like, Ebu kind of asked Katrina, okay, so, you know, what do you think? Katrina was not like, at least I'm not crazy. Like, I know what I suspected. Like, I know what I was feeling. And then this video has shown everything. Then Tochi was not like, but there was alcohol in the mix. And I'm like, oh, wow. Look at that defense. Tochi just came in and defended. In fact, immediately Tochi just said that one. Nengi now picked it up like, you know, what are you saying and everything. So Tochi just came in and just stood for her. And I'm like, oh, wow. This is so impressive. Then I asked them what the situation was. That's when Nengi and Kiddwaya were now explaining that they just went to the bathroom and it was a coincidence. Ebuka was now like, okay, but what were you guys saying? Because you can understand why people were misinterpreting the situation. And Ozo was looking at it like, because Ozo was on about it. Ozo was really on about it with Neo, like this, da. So he was not like, you can understand why people were misinterpreting the situation. And she was like, it was just a coincidence that she can't remember what she was telling Kiddwaya. Kiddwaya said he cannot remember too. And I'm like, wow. This Ozo and Kiddwaya's case, even a lawyer cannot even judge it. Because why are you going to start? So, but honestly, what I would say is that I was impressed with the way they all handled the situation. That's when I came to the conclusion that if you set yourself up for dragging, if you set yourself up for dragging, if you drag another person, you self go collect. If you notice, all the situations that Nengi has had with people in the house, she didn't like try to down talk the guy like, okay, maybe it's the guy's fault. What will I want to have to do with the guy? It's only one time where she was like, saying something about like everybody is trying to say that she was trying to use the guys. What's she using them for? But that was a general statement. But she didn't like say to anybody like, I didn't want to, like, you're too small for me or anything. So then Nengi, Kiddwaya said he cannot remember what was said. Nengi said she cannot remember that she was tipsy. Kiddwaya said he was tipsy. And I'm like, all right, okay. At this point I was like, okay, impressive. I was actually very impressed. They even asked Ozo that did he believe her, like what she was saying. And Ozo was now even saying that that at the time he believed her when she said that there was nothing, and he told her that if whatever she tells him is what he'll believe, whatever she tells him what he'll take. Then he now told him that, but there was a narrative that there was a conversation that you had with Neo that you said that I and Kiddwaya had sex and everything. And also was like, they didn't say anything like that. And I don't think they said anything like that. Also did not really say like, okay, Kiddwaya and Nengi had anything in particular. But also and Neo had a conversation about like, suspecting them. But it was not that he didn't lay any accusations like, okay, they had, like, they knocked and everything. But I liked how they handled it, both with the guys and Nengi and everything. Everybody just handled it like a mature person. Now, they now talked about like, they now moved on to Kaisha and Neo's situation. That's when another crazy came in. Kaisha was talking about how Neo was onto her. Neo was giving her green lights. No, they started with praise. Praise started by saying that there were some times that Kaisha was lying down on the couch and then Neo would come and just lie down with her and everything. Like, Neo was giving her green lights. That's what Praise was saying. Then Kaisha now took the table, was now saying that, okay, yeah, this guy was like onto me. He was giving me green lights. He was leading her on. She admitted that she liked him. But then Neo all this while has been doing as if he did not fancy Kaisha at all, which is a lie, because there was a time they had a conversation in the parlor. He had a conversation with somebody in the parlor about Kaisha. And that's when I started noticing, it was towards the end I started noticing that, these two people is as if, because the statements that Kaisha said he made to her, there's one, I think that the particular one I heard was the one that he talked about, like, V, if not that V came on to him and everything, Kaisha is another person that maybe he would have tried to do something with in the house and everything. So, but Neo just denied everything Even though the way Kaisha handled the situation was just like, you know, somehow I was like, did you like me or not? She was even the English did not enter well. She was like, did you like me or not?
To your face that I like.
Leo, do you ever like me?
Oh my Kaisha,
so
did I ever tell you to your face that I
Did you
like
tell
you?
anybody?
Leo.
I only told people that, look, Kaisha had something for me.
And I'm like, Kaisha, calm down. Calm down. We know you're trying to address the situation, but like, calm down so that we can really hear him. Because if she had calmed down, we would have seen through his lies, or I don't know, we would have seen through what he was saying. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he didn't feel like he was onto her, but every other person that was in the house just mentioned that, okay, he saw that he was leading her on. He said that he did not tell her anything. But then you're leading, I feel like he was, obviously Kaisha was onto him. Yeah, Kaisha was onto him, but he was like, you know, liking the situation and then flowing with it. So that's, in that way, I'll say that that's like leading the person on, like, okay, this person is onto you, and then you're giving the person green light, and it's like you guys are flowing. I actually wanted Kaisha to stay a little bit longer, because like, obviously, we would have really seen the situation on ground. She even said that Neo asked her to kiss him at the party. Hey! I'm like, oh, wow. She also said that when she was dancing with him, he had a hat on, and also said that Neo told her that that look, there's a particular look that she gives to him that makes him hard and everything. I'm like, hey, wow. Then after everything, they were not arguing. Kaisha now even walked out of, like, they just walked out of the place, like, telling V that she should be very careful with him, that he's a liar, So Tolanibaj was like trying to, yes, so you're saying it now, you get. So V now wanted to come in and say that, I don't have a problem with him liking this person. That she even felt, that's V now. She said that when she was in the house, she didn't think that there was any dynamics between like Neo and Kaisha. She was surprised that she was the only one that didn't see it, but that Neo had told her things, like different things. But she's also surprised that the fact that Neo did not talk about Kaisha means that he could have actually liked her and everything. So she doesn't have a problem with it. Like, it's okay for him to be attracted to other people. You know, it happens. He's human and everything. And she's like, you know, nothing concern her. So that's just how the Kaisha Neo issue played out. It was just like she didn't really let him. Neo, to me, had something. I beg. Another couple that was talked about today was Lilo and Eric. Lilo and Eric. Their own was actually very straightforward, because it was obvious Lilo liked Eric, Eric liked Lilo. They didn't really have drama in the house that caused any problem. It's when they came out that Lilo was now making statements like she feels like Eric used her, took advantage of her. And then when they came out of the house, Eric said he called her and was asking her about like the things she said on, like, in the interview and stuff, and she was telling him she was very defensive. So he just like, okay, he didn't want to have anything to do with her again. He said the breaking point was when they had an interview together, that she came like the way she appeared, like she came to win. That, you know, one person was combing her hair, the other person was, you know, holding her phone or something like that. You know how somebody's coming out like, okay, I'm all that, and then Eric was like, don't be Lilo be this.
She came with her goons, like one is combing her hair, one is fanning her and stuff like that. I'm like, fam, not be you be Lilo.
Then Ebuka asked Lilo that would she have liked to pursue the relationship, as in carry on with the relationship, and she's like, I can't remember what she even said. She said, I don't think she said that she should have liked to pursue the relationship, because according to her, there were things that happened outside, that a lot had already happened outside before he even came out. So she was not going to pursue the relationship, but she's okay. She doesn't have any issue with anybody outside the house. She doesn't have any issue with any of them.
No, I'm cool with everybody. I'm not trying to have like bad blood to anyone.
So for them, it was just like subtle. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, yo, just like move on like that. So that's it for tonight's reunion. Let me know what you think about like the show so far, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and turn on your post notifications. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.